Fuck no, I haven't played Ratchet and Clank yet.
Is it out?
Yeah. It's been out since, I think, last Friday is when it came out.
Weird, I haven't heard anything.
There's reviews for it. It's the talk of the town last week. But with the E3, I'm sure it's easy to overlook a release. It's kind of a weird time to release a game because of pretty much every other game that exists is going to be talked about. Okay, we're going to wait a little bit for people to show up. We got Psycho. What's up, Psycho? And, yeah. We got about 5 minutes before we start this reaction to the Capcom event that happened today. I haven't heard anything about what they showed, but I have seen people saying they weren't very happy with it. So that's going to be fun. But maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. I do plan on talking about some Elden Ring details before we start the stream. So, the Capcom stream. So that'll be fun. Other than that, I don't have any other videos lined up. So if anybody knows of any videos that were shown independently from presentations, let me know. And we'll consider it like Pal World. What's up, Sarah? We're missing Jeremy. Where's he at?
I wish my neck would pop, though.
Where's my boy? All right, I'm going to get the intro shit knocked out. Today, we are going to be reacting to the Capcom Showcase that happened earlier today. It's a short one, and we don't have much else to be reacting to, so this will probably be a pretty short stream, which will be nice. As much as I would love, if there's more events that happen today, I would definitely be down to watch them, but I'd also like to play something for once, so looking forward to that. If you're curious about our reactions to other events, we have already done the Ubisoft Forward event, the Gearbox Showcase. We talked shit about that one. We watched Square Enix, we watched Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase, and we reacted as well to the Warner Bros. Games Back for Blood and the Summer Game Fest. So if you're curious about our reactions to those are up right now. I've noticed that the first streams that we do take longer to get processed and uploaded than the second streams that we've done. In 2 days straight now, we've done 2 different streams. And the second one always pops up like instantly, and then the first one takes like half a day. I have no idea why that is.
I don't know either.
It's very stupid. Very dumb. So tonight, we are doing Capcom, and we're going to talk about details for Elden Ring that have come out. We are skipping the Take-Two Interactive panel, because apparently it's just a bunch of people sitting around talking. What's up, Puppet Master? And it looks like popcorn. Sick. And then we are finally entering the last day tomorrow. No, it's still tomorrow. Where we will be reacting to Nintendo's Nintendo Direct and Nintendo Treehouse. Hopefully we get some big ass bangers in that event. And then Bandai Namco, which I'm very curious about because they make a lot of games. So, my name's Seth, and this is Chevy, of course. And yeah, we're here to react to some shit. But before that, a couple quick reminders to download and play Operation Tango, Virtua Fighter 5, Ultimate Showdown, Star Wars Squadrons, and Minecraft. And we will be talking about those on Plus Club and Game of the Month at the end of the month. So make sure to play those. Come back, tell us your opinion. We'll tell you ours. We have Discord. We have a Patreon. You can subscribe if you're brand new. You can like this video. You can comment. And you can do something else. Share this video. It all helps a lot. We appreciate it all. Thank you very much. We also are on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us in audio form when we do our more typical podcasts that we're not doing right now. No time, baby.
Busy week.
Busy week. Very busy. And baby's tired right now. Hoping to perk up. And yeah. So probably we could just start talking about Elden Ring now.
Okay.
Since that was not planned before, but now it is. I got this on loop, so you guys can look at that. Beautiful looking game. And if you're curious, if you're watching this, and I already said it, but if you need a reminder again, we have reacted to Elden Ring already. So if you want to see the original, go check out the Summer Game Fest reaction video that we did. Since then, though, there have been interviews with From Software, and Miyazaki has put out some information that I was going to throw out there, and we can talk about it. So this is via, is it Nibble or Nibble?
I don't know.
Every time I see that name, I'm like, how do you say that? Anyway, someone on Twitter who is really, really good at just kind of getting info out there has posted some details on Elden Ring, starting with 6 major areas that function as distinct dungeons ruled by demigod characters. You don't have to follow an order, which kind of makes sense. I kind of assumed that it was going to be like, what's up, Nick Raintree? I kind of assumed it was going to be maybe like Breath of the Wild, and you can kind of go in any direction. Also gives them a chance to kind of do what they do with their game design, with the intricate pathways that kind of lead from one way to another, and all of a sudden you're back in a place you were at before. They can do that in these kind of like dungeon areas, and then still have like an open world map. So makes sense. Hub confirmed. So there's going to be some kind of hub, which is pretty typical of a Souls-like game. Catacombs, castles, fortresses, mini dungeons, etc. So we're getting a variety of different kind of things to explore. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. They are confident that Elden Ring will arrive on its release date. So that's good to hear. Character creator, so you'll be making your own character, kind of a given, kind of assume that. Multiple endings, that's something I didn't think was going to be a thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's pretty interesting. Give you a reason to replay it. Give you a reason to talk with people about what ending they got. Hopefully you don't have to beat like 6 endings to get the true ending. Much higher degree of freedom than before. I'm assuming that just kind of means in where you go, choices possibly in your...
Well, probably a less linear progression.
Yeah.
So...
let's see. Optional bosses, which is pretty typical of Souls-like games.
For sure.
Battle arts from DS3, Dark Souls 3, return but are not fixed to a weapon. 100 techniques, which is very cool to hear. We got spirits can be collected and equipped, apparently. Summons, which I think we saw something like that in the trailer.
I think that's what they showed in the trailer.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool to hear. That's pretty different. Kind of reminds me of Neo.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
For sure.
But I'm all for it. It sounds cool to me. Different types of spirits, use them for assaults as decoy or for defense, etc. So they're going to have different kind of utility purpose. So that's pretty cool. Something that's definitely new to the series. Or not the series, but the games that they make. Spirits can be improved, apparently. I gotta keep saying apparently. So yeah, seems like you can upgrade them, which is pretty cool. There are also rather useless spirits with other traits. So I'm going to interpret that as there's maybe some, not necessarily joke ones, but things that maybe make the game more difficult or something that kind of hinders you or something that's kind of questionable that you'd like equip just to go, I beat the game with this one or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it could also be, I don't know how to word this so well, but something that like affects something completely trivial.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, which the Souls games kind of have stuff like that already. So, multiplayer support during exploration on the open fields, but you're not able to ride your horses in multiplayer apparently. So that's kind of interesting. This also doesn't talk about the dungeons. It just says that they're essentially confirming that when you're exploring in the open fields, multiplayer is accessible, which we kind of saw in the trailer already. Kind of assumed that, but it's confirmation. ER is more manageable due to the many different options the player has, but there are still many tough enemies, which is interesting to hear. But I would assume there'd be tough enemies. Anyway, but I guess with the game that has that freedom to go in any direction, or whatever, it's kind of hard to tell you that you're gonna be running into all these tough enemies when like your progression may look different than mine. So when I get to this boss that may be the tough one, maybe I've already leveled a lot since then, and maybe you started it over there. So I mean, Dark Souls is kind of like that. It's like 3 directions you can go right in the beginning. Let's see. Fall damage is low to keep explorers motivated. There is a world map. The actual dungeons do not have a map. So there you're going to be kind of feeling your way through. Crafting system with materials. So that's interesting. Miyazaki guesses playtime is maybe at 30 hours without too many side trips. So pretty substantial. And then the last thing I got is asynchronous multiplayer elements return. You can apparently set up groups with friends, for example, and give their messages, dead bodies, etc. Higher priority, keyword system, no limit on group size. Any thoughts on any of these details that have come out?
I mean, not really. It kind of sounds par for course for them. So minus like a couple things, like obviously it being an open world game, and the details of the multiplayer weren't really listed as much as just some vague wording. But like, for how long is there a kick out feature when you fight bosses like they've done before, stuff like that. So
yeah, those are the details I want to know.
Yeah, I say they're just kind of being a bit vague on some of those points, but the rest of it was just stuff I kind of assumed anyways. So.
Yeah, the big surprises for me is them lowering fall damage to make exploration or explorers more motivated. Doesn't sound very From Software to me, like to give you that. So I'm not complaining. It's just that's an interesting thing to hear. It's also something I would have never thought of. So it seems like they have been doing play testing and seeing how it felt and came to that decision. The game having a world map is interesting because in Dark Souls you kind of just like explore
And memorize, yeah.
Yeah, whereas the dungeon seems like it's gonna be the more expected Souls experience.
Yeah.
Let's see, in the crafting system, that's really interesting. I'm wondering how substantial that's going to be. 30 hours seems about right. Multiplayer support, there's a lot of questions I still have, but it does sound like we are at the very least going to have something similar to what we're used to in Souls games, because we're talking about the asynchronous multiplayer and having like certain systems where people will find you easier and stuff like that. So it's starting to sound pretty similar, but it's still so vague that we don't know exactly what this means. So I'm hoping. I always appreciate their systems, but I'm hoping it's like pretty fucking simple, and not something you need like some kind of resource to have to do. Because it would be cool just to play the game. But,
For sure.
But if they don't do it, I get it. They've done that so many times. And then the spirit system I think is really interesting sounding. I mean, it sounds kind of like Neo, so that's really interesting. But I like Neo a lot, and I think that system's cool. And I like the idea of having like abilities, powers, stuff like that to use in situations, or in this at least it's saying you can use them for different things, different utilities, assault, decoy, defenses. In a Souls game, having a decoy is kind of interesting sounding, because that sounds like it'd be pretty fucking useful, considering in these kind of games you don't want to get hit, because once you get hit you could get stunned and get murdered instantly. So
Right.
that could be pretty valuable. I think the multiple endings I think is really interesting as well, because that's not something I'm really used to. I'm sure there'll be like one that is the ending, but
Probably.
that's typically standard. But everything else is just kind of confirmation. I mean, like I've been speculating for a while that I thought it was gonna be kind of like open world, go wherever you want, and then once you go to a location it's like a dungeon, it's gonna be like kind of the Souls experience, and that sounds like exactly what's going to happen here. Having the demigods in 6 different regions or whatever, pretty much having like a smaller scale game, like for lack of better example, Ghost Recon Wildlands had like the different zones, and it had like a cartel member there, and then once you did enough stuff there, you could kill the boss, and then that zone was done.
Oh, okay.
So only on a bigger scale. And obviously not the same kind of game, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, all in all sounds really fucking cool. Really excited for this. And I just really want to know more about the multiplayer. I want to know how it's going to work. I think it's also interesting you're not going to be able to ride horses when you're playing together. I wonder if that's like a system thing, like they can't make it work, or if it's intentional for some kind of design purpose.
Might just be troublesome coding wise, and they just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's horse combat stuff too, so maybe there's some kind of overcomplication.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of a weird one.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I'd like to know, like, I would love to hear exactly why. Not that I need to hear it. I'm just out of curiosity. I'm really curious on why that is. Yeah, so we got plenty of details. We got the trailer that we've watched many times now. So yeah, let me know in the comments and in the chat if you want what you think of these details that have rolled out about Elden Ring. And are you excited for it still? Has it changed your mind at all? Are you more excited than you were before? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. Okay, so we are going to jump into the thing we're here to watch, which is the Capcom E3 Showcase that happened earlier today. This video is 14 minutes, but 15 minutes in is when it starts, so pretty short. I like how they got Super Smash Bros. Listed as a game. Interesting. Before we hop into this, what are you expecting? What do you want to see? What do you not want to see? Are you excited? And yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything they haven't released that I'm waiting for. I mean, with the lack of talking happening online, I really doubt it. So, but the only thing I could even think of that I would want to hear is, and we've said it a couple times now, but I would like to see Lost Planet come back. But
Same.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any expectations of the show. I don't play a whole lot of Capcom games, so.
Yeah, and Capcom's weird because they have like a large roster of games at their disposal, but they make like 5 of them or 4 of them. So it's always kind of hard to guess what they're doing. I would love a Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement of any kind, just to confirm that's going to happen. I'd be very excited for that. A new DMC would be nice, or Lost Planet is cool too. Yeah, I agree. DMC, I think, would be kind of a given. Lost Planet is like the thing we've talked about plenty of times on the channel now. Is something I would love to see. Something that returns to the roots of Lost Planet, but is modern and plays better on PC. But yeah, that'd be huge. Very excited if that was the thing. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see that or not. But Dragon's Dogma 2 has been something that has had rumors floating around it for a while, and I would love to see that become a thing. That's a game I feel like definitely could lend itself to a series of mini games, hopefully with multiplayer planned. I do expect to see something on Monster Hunter Rise. I do expect to see something maybe on Monster Hunter Stories 2, whatever the fuck the rest of the title is. Something on Street Fighter maybe. That's not going to be exciting for me, but I wouldn't be surprised with that. I know a lot of people want Dino Crisis. I don't think we're going to see that, but I'd be interested in that. Monster Hunter Stories 2 is a given for this presentation since it's coming out soon. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at too. I kind of think that we're definitely going to see something. Whether it's the trailer we've already seen or a new trailer or maybe like an announcement of like something extra coming with it, I don't know. But that's definitely a given. Definitely not going to see Bionic Commando, but I would be interested in seeing that. Mega Man, they don't fuck around with Mega Man. That's not a property. They have so many properties they don't touch. It's so fucking crazy.
A lot of companies these days.
Yeah. But Resident Evil, I feel like we're going to hear something about that. Village has done very well. Great reception. It's my game of the year so far. So I don't know if we're going to hear anything about Village, but something Resident Evil related. Reverse, probably going to hear about that. The multiplayer this was come with Village.
Oh, okay.
It got delayed. I think you still get it once it comes out if you bought Village or something like that, I think. But it got delayed. So I played the beta. I thought it was not good at all. But it was literally just like a running around fucking deathmatch. And when you shot and killed somebody, they turned into the monster they picked before they started the match. And they turn the monster, and then they kill you. And then you turn to a monster, and then you kill them. And it's like a really fucking... It's like I don't understand who thought of it or why.
So it's Infection?
No. It's deathmatch. Except for when you die, you just turn to a monster. And then you can still fight people. And then when you die as the monster, you respawn.
Okay.
It's just an exacerbated... look, you can play as these characters from the game, and then you get to turn into monsters from the game. Or the games. That's it. It really made no sense to me. And it wasn't fun. So if this delay does make the game, worth a damn, great. I want it to be good, but when it comes to Resident Evil, Capcom has not been good at making multiplayer games. So anytime they announce any kind of multiplayer, I'm never excited. Let's see. Psycho says a new Mega Man would be a dream come true. Yeah, and the likelihood of that for me is 2%. I don't think it's happening. Connor says this E3 was so bad aside from a few games, but fuck PC Game Show was the worst. I skipped PC Game Show because the last couple of years, every time we go to watch it, it's like a fucking 4-hour thing, and it's mostly just like them showing PC games, and most of them are like all announced games already. Like a lot of indie games that are coming out on Steam or are already out on Steam. They never have like, that's not where the announcements come from, is the PC Game Show. It's just kind of there to like be PC centric, I guess. But yeah, I almost never react to it just because anytime I've tried, it's not worth it. But so far, and we're going to talk about this on Tasty Cast next weekend, but I would say it's about 50-50 for me so far. I think there's been some good presentations. I think there's been some not so good presentations, and I think there's been some horrible presentations. I'm really hoping Nintendo brings it. I hope they have a fucking awesome presentation that we can end E3 with. That'd be great. And then Bandai Namco, I don't think they're going to do anything insane. I think we're going to see Tales of Arise and a couple other of their anime games, but I don't think they're going to be like a big thing, but it's still going to be fun to watch. But Nintendo is like the last one, and I'm really hoping we can end E3 with something huge. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'd say it was bad, but there's been some bad ones for sure. So I get where you're coming from. Yeah. So probably should just start this. All right. This is the Capcom E3 Showcase. And let's go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Let me know about the audio if there's any issues. Go. Thank you. Street Fighter 8. Nintendo presentation is going to be like 10 minutes long at this point. Oh good, I missed nothing.
Welcome to the Capcom E3 Showcase. I'm your host, Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer, and I'll be your guide as we walk through the latest releases, news, and updates.
Yeah, we just talked about Elden Ring details that have come out. They're on the Discord.
Share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney. Then we'll wrap up with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are we waiting for?
Ace Attorney.
Let's get started. Our first stop today, Resident Evil Village. The Resident Evil franchise continues to pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 25th anniversary this year.
What's up, Jeremy?
I'm honored to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Another time.
Bye-bye.
There's nothing to fear.
Where's Rose? She's everything to me.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on.
Game's good. Yeah, play it. Play it. Ace Attorney.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror. As a reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil Re:Verse, where players go head-to-head with their favorite Resident Evil heroes and bioweapons. I'm now happy to announce that Resident Evil Re:Verse will go live next month across all supported platforms. So head into the fray to celebrate the Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
I will for 1 second, and then I'm going to get bored, and I'm not anymore. popular demand, development has just started on additional DLC for Resident Evil Village. Interesting. By popular demand? Were they not planning that?
Thank you, Kanda-san, for that wonderful
I mean, that could
update.
just be marketing
Next up,
talk.
some long-awaited
that's
news
true.
from the world of Monster Hunter.
That's
Whether
still cool
it's
to hear.
adventuring alongside monsters or battling them with friends, we've got something for you. First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to
I
the
wanted to
series.
talk like her.
Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin.
Oh, that guy. Phoenix Wright. Yeah, understandable, but I tell you now, I'm now unhyped for most things moving forward, and pre-ordering is non-existent for me. Gaming has been rough, and releases have been so bad as of late. I mean, it's fair. I'm not a big pre-order guy either, so at all. So I encourage you not to pre-order. I think most people should just not pre-order because it's kind of
the awesome power of
there's no point to it anymore.
He was merely a man. He never stood a chance.
I want another console, Monster Hunter.
All
We'll
around
get
things
one for
just
sure.
kept
Monster Hunter
getting
World
worse.
did too good, but
But I heard
The
Yeah,
Switch is a
that
console.
Guardian
Yeah,
Ratha
wow.
had survived.
yeah, I
and
get what he's
returned
saying though.
to
But
Echo's
yeah,
Island.
you're 100% right. So, like,
I
Switch is
went there to
100%
see Red
TV
Zone Monty
console.
again.
yeah,
And Rise is a full ass game. So.
but it's not of the quality of
Then,
like
of
World.
course.
So
That's when I met you.
You were given Red's kinship stone.
pretty sure I was
and
gonna say
now
those World did so
Arathalos
good.
egg.
There's no way they're not gonna do
This
another
is
one.
destiny.
This is the legend.
Oh baby,
Praise Ring Ratha, the monster with the wings of ruin.
It's said that a beat of its wings can bring about waves.
yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Many
This thing is
people believe
great about it is it's
There's
both,
a connection between
but
the strange happenings
I
and
pretty
the
much
wings
only
of
play it on
ruin.
the TV. I can't. I'm not a
The
mobile
pits are
gamer, so
appearing everywhere.
I don't really like gaming on the go or
Strange
taking it with
light.
me and playing it on a small screen. I'd rather play it on TV. I really want to pick this up, but I feel like I have to play the first game.
What's this whole idea of forming
If they're not, I'll
kinship
probably
with
pick this up.
monsters?
If I like it enough, I'll go
How
back
do
and
you
play the
control
first one.
them?
But if they
It's
are,
not about
I'll
control.
just play the first game.
Monsters help riders of their own will.
This one just looks way better than the first one.
And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are
I
those
bought a
people
Switch
who want
about
to
a
take
year
Ratha
ago and
for
played it like
themselves?
2 hours of Animal Crossing
All
and
I
haven't
have are
touched it
questions.
since.
If there's worry
Gotta play
or
something
doubt
else.
in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too.
We need more
He
sex
needs to know
games
that
with
you will
characters like
protect
Randy
him no
Pitchford
matter
and
what.
Gaben.
I can sense
Steam
the
Lord.
flames of his life force weakening. The burden of such great power
I think we need one before we can start saying we
is
need
too much
more.
for his body to bear.
I feel like Randy Pitchford would be down though. He seems like the type. First game is mobile or 3DS,
Can you hear it?
unfortunately. Oh yeah.
Riders can bond with
I forgot it was that
monsters.
long ago.
Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
But mobile, I mean, you
They
told me
have
it was
the
on
power
phone,
of
right?
kinship.
You think?
They're friends.
Well, I don't know if I straight up told you that, but I thought you had asked if it was on
everyone they
phone.
meet. That
An
makes
episode
them
or two
strong.
ago, and,
Yeah.
and
My friends here told me that.
someone in chat had said they played it.
I believe in the strength of humanity.
Zelda. Yep, it is on phone for $20. I will look into it. Curious. Damn.
10 days.
Damn, look at that. It's like a little fucking wizard. Let's see.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new monsties in the first free title update coming soon after the game's release. You can get an early peek at the game with the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin trial version starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt. Millions of you made Monster Hunter Rise a huge success earlier this year, and we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Let's do it. Pretty much bought it in preparation for Monster Hunter Rise, but as we got closer to release, my interest diminished for some strange reason, so I never picked it up. That is interesting. Have you tried it at all? I think there's a demo on the phone. I will definitely look for that, because I prefer to try before I just buy it, especially for 20 bucks on something on my phone. I'm not into it. I wish Pokemon had battle graphics as impressive as this game. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Feeling. What will it be? Moon's blessing emerged.
Still need to go in there and fight the monsters and monsters.
Just need to play it.
It's good. Probably the best combat spell.
I felt pretty good in the demo. Oh yeah. I want the leather pants and the sunglasses. I'm trying to look sick, bro.
Oh, a lot of extra stuff.
Is like my
That penguin?
So much. Yeah.
You think you can take on Rondine?
Fucking party.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah. Glad to see them supporting it.
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan, with all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. North American and European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney
I ain't never played one of these.
and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which were previously only
I
available
played the Rise
in Japan.
demo, but I didn't
You'll travel
have
back in
the
time to the
magic
late
in it that
19th
Monster
century
Hunter World
Japan
did
and
for
London
me.
to
I
play
get
as
that.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo,
Sweet more
Phoenix
event
Wright's ancestor,
quests.
in this action-packed
Where's
prequel.
my new monster
Now
hunts?
let's hear more about the story.
They are, I'm sure they're coming. I'm sure they're coming.
This mystery.
Welcome to the centre of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
Oh god.
So then,
I will become a lawyer.
This mystery and
I'll
discover
fucking
what
die
events
trying to say that.
led to this curious murder. Who are you? Herlock Sholmes. You must have heard of me.
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san.
Let us engage in the art of deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, what have we here? It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
The defense demands its right
Is this
to
a nonary game?
cross-examination.
What's going on here?
They're kind of that style game, so.
Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
That guy's a vampire.
Lawyer, vampire, same thing.
Yeah.
You're the best lawyer in the world.
Oh, I know. I know. That's pretty cool.
So we have 10 new cases
Still
and
weirds me
8
out that it's
mini
not things other than
escapades
Nintendo,
where you can
'cause
take
they
on the
pretty much
role of a
lived there for
defense
so long.
attorney.
Yeah.
Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Out of all
Dance
these
of
games,
Deduction
I want to see
and
some Ace
Summation
Attorney gameplay.
Examination.
Hello, I'm John,
Minor spoilers
Capcom's
may be
marketing
included.
brand manager for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
So this is the capital of Great Britain. Where to?
I assume because it's so dialogue-heavy games, they just have to put it there in
Capcom
case
team
someone
is thrilled
considers
to present 2 new gameplay features,
aspects of
Dance of
spoilers.
Deduction and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
While investigating to prove your client's innocence, players will come across conspicuous situations that require further examination with the help of Ryunosuke's legal aid Susato and the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock.
I think they've mixed up Great Britain with Harry Potter there. I thought they were the same thing. It's like I live in Washington, it's
Herlock will
pretty
proceed
much
to
Narnia.
present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series
I
of
love that
conjectures.
dude. Looks like he's up to some bullshit.
A faceless guy?
Yeah. If I saw that guy, he's holding fucking scissors too, like a weapon. It'd be better if there's voice acting.
I doubt they have the budget.
This is the mild spoiler right here.
This is kind of difficult to show off anyways, because it's pretty niche.
Ryunosuke and Susato will then discuss to correct the flaws in Herlock's deductions. At this point, players will be prompted to search for clues that help identify the errors in the detective's logic and reveal the truth to the mystery. As players present new evidence and observations, Herlock will amend his deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
Oh, damn. Chris, are you excited for Ace Attorney? Russian guy edition?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh shit.
That was a good disguise.
So excited I'm comatose. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6 jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will be displayed and represented by 2 scales of justice, one
She's
black,
not- what the
representing
fuck
a
does that
guilty
guy have a
verdict,
knife for?
and one white, representing a not
Judge,
guilty
jury, and
verdict.
executioner.
Objection!
So if I was in a courtroom
Summation
and some guy who was
examination.
one of
Take
the people
the
that make
stand
the
to face off
decision was
against the
sitting there with a
jurors.
knife, I'd be like, can we get a
All of
different
whom
guy?
provide explanations as to why they've reached their guilty verdict.
I need one of those. She's not impressed.
You'll have to identify conflicting statements and sway the jury in your favor.
I mean, I guess
Examine
you
each
bring a
statement carefully
katana in
and
court,
select
so-
2 contradicting jurors to call out the flaws in their logic.
Oh shit.
Objection!
No point at Graham. Where's your fucking manners?
Be ready to provide evidence from the
I
court
don't think
record
there's manners
to
needed
help
in this
prove
courtroom.
contradiction in their
Look at this
claim.
hostile shit.
When you successfully point out one of these contradictions among the
Judge
jurors,
Dredd.
you might just change their minds too.
Seems like it.
With a slam of their fist, each juror you persuade will send a fiery ball towards the scales above and literally tip the scales of justice in your favor. Bring each contradiction to light and persuade the jury to help prove your client's innocence.
Josh B.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
This has just been a small taste of the exciting new
Well,
gameplay
he was chomping at
features
the bit for
in a great Ace Attorney.
Next gen game.
We are very excited
Wonder if it was next
to
gen
get this
enough for him.
game in the hands of both new fans and diehard fans alike. Thanks for watching.
It already seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting new adventures and titles to look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's showcase with a few words from two of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV and Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other content on Capcom Fighters. Over to you guys.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Capcom esports presentation for E3 2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as well as Street Fighter League, here with competitive Street Fighter V player and
esports woo. Yeah, dude, this is what I watched this for.
Rob TV.
This is what E3 is all about.
Goodness, Vicious, host
goddamn
extraordinaire.
esports.
That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it, and I think that's the perfect word to describe what we have for everyone today. Street Fighter V, Capcom E3, it just feels right, and you feel the electricity in the air.
Nice!
Nice!
What? That was nasty!
And there might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't fully know what competitive
Love
Street
it.
Fighter V is.
Love this.
The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good doing it.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in your
I just learned.
sign up for Capcom Pro Tour.
I didn't know
to
until now.
Become possibly a world champion at Street Fighter V.
The double perfect, the way he looked at the camera like...
Don't ever expect another man's controller.
So in this year's CPT overall, it's a series of tournaments that have $5,000 on the line for
I found
each
the demo.
tournament. But that money alone, that's not the big, that's not what's really at stake here. It's about making it to the granddaddy of them all.
Dragon Quest Tactic. What is this?
Free play game that came out.
Oof, never mind.
So behind me, you can see in all of its glory the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set.
Sounds like he's
and
putting
that's
like
a
an
place
R
that
in the
you are
word
very,
Capcom.
very familiar with.
That's right. We take all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions. And speaking of, the Capcom
Might as
Pro
well
Tour has shaped
transition
up a
into
lot.
Take Two
2021,
after
we
this
have
esports
32
segment.
events going on in the
Yeah, I don't
Capcom
know.
Pro Tour, spanning
I don't know if I
across
want to do that.
19 different
I'm already
territories.
feeling
So
kind of
there's
tired. I
so
don't
many
want to fucking pass out.
opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket
Capcom,
into Capcom
Roto
Cup this
Z.
season. I'm absolutely excited because, again,
That
that is
guy.
a big
I'd say
change
the
from what
chat's having a
2020 was
meltdown
into
down
what
there,
we
too.
expect for 2021.
And Mago is your first qualifier.
Yeah, I saw a couple comments earlier saying that they were really upset about the Capcom presentation.
I'm not upset about it. Channel. You can do so
I'm not upset about it either. I'm
platforms.
saying,
We
like,
have it on
fucking,
Twitch,
I get
YouTube,
it. I
Twitter,
get where they're coming
and
from.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't catch it live, you can also check
can
out the
see
VOD
how
for all the
you might be
competitive
excited to
study you
watch
need
this,
become
and
a
you got
successful Street Fighter V player,
confirmation
as well as catching
for
some of the
DLC coming to Village, which
community-focused
is
content that we have
awesome,
on
but
Capcom Fighters. We have No
it's
Neutral,
cool.
the
Like,
official
that's it.
pre-show
Like, we didn't
of
see
the
anything.
Capcom Pro Tour.
Ace Attorney,
We have
which
sets where
that's
we
for
take players from around the
somebody
world and
specific.
play off in exhibition
This shit
to
for
10.
somebody
Not only
specific.
that, actually, we do have Street Fighter League that's happening
Reverse
season
is coming
after
out, we
season,
know that.
non-stop action, 6 teams of 3, duke it
Was there
out
something
with
else?
Battle Tournament Series.
Monster
See who will
stuff?
walk away with the championship
Both those are already
and the
announced games. The only thing we really got was the roadmap
$150,000
from Outside Rise, which they share on Twitter
Because
constantly.
I think it's like the most exciting thing we've seen.
1v1
And then
content.
Monster
But
Hunter
now,
Stories, which
you actually have
they
your
have been doing a
teammates
pretty
at
good
your
job
back,
advertising
and
as
every
well.
decision
So,
that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League.
This almost feels
later
like they
this year.
did it because they were like, we gotta have a presence at E3. what do we do? Well, let's just make sure everybody knows what's going on with Capcom.
It's kind of tricky too because they get to have a presence without because there's no physical E3, right? So they don't have to pay for a
opening is happening
stage,
right now.
Yeah.
Top players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place
He's
in the
explaining
World
the
Finals
concept of a
next
fighting
month.
game. What
Be
the
sure
fuck
to check
is
out the
this?
official website
This is
more
for
information, including current
casuals.
standings and broadcast schedule.
Hey, there's these things called video games, and they're virtual experiences that you interact with in many different ways, in many different genres.
Highly recommend everyone to stay tuned for future Capcom Pro Tour updates on the Capcom Fighters.
Not gonna happen.
Again, we've had so many events so far. We started off with
care
the
if you highly
Japan
recommend
region.
shit.
We've had a couple of more events
Never gonna
going
happen.
on afterwards, but the action does not stop. In fact, we're going to be continuing off with
play
the
Guilty Gear?
Midwest region
Good.
for the Capcom Pro Tour. I know you're definitely excited about that.
It feels pretty good.
I mean, of course, your boy
am very
is
rusty,
from
and
Ohio.
they've changed
Make
character
sure you
movesets,
guys
so
tune in to see the tournament.
It's like starting a new game.
I feel like I don't know anything again, which is kind of weird, a weird feeling. So, especially because like I'm familiar with the characters, but I don't know how to play them.
I dare you to find better Street
That's what happened in Soul Calibur 5.
This is a game about
for me.
being a
Before.
world warrior.
5. Yeah. The one with when they fucked up Kilo.
See, they got a rivalry. I'm the best in
Yeah,
the
I mean,
world.
like,
This game has changed
play a
the
lot of
lives of so many people here.
Kisuke over the years, and he's pretty similar. The only thing that's kind of really changed is he used to have like a backwards fireball that you would like do a sword swipe that had like the tracer behind it in an arc. That has turned into this like kick move now.
Thanks, guys.
Has a
It's been a
similar
really exciting
movement, but it
season so
feels a little
far, and I
different. I don't
can't
know.
wait to see
It's-
how
I
this
just kinda
plays
hate
out
that
on the
when
road
they,
to
like,
Capcom Cup. Remember to check out
replace
Capcom
something
Fighters
you
Twitch
used to
and
use before
YouTube
with
channels
something
for more
different.
information and to watch the
It just
latest
doesn't matter.
matches.
He just might not
So
like
that's
being
a
a
wrap
character
for
in this game.
Capcom at
So.
E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw.
I just gotta figure it out.
Resident
I've
Evil
barely touched
Village
games, so it's
is
hard for me to
back
talk
with the
about it,
latest
but,
installment of the survival horror
I know
experience
May's in it.
and
I
RE
really
Verse
like
as
Bayonetta
part of the
games,
franchise's 25th anniversary. We have new adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise. And don't forget to go back in time with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright
forget.
and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest matches with Capcom Fighters. There really is something for everyone here today. But don't go anywhere yet. Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom virtual booth on the E3 portal to watch all these videos again and more.
I feel like they gave her cocaine.
I'm Rachel
before she
Querico,
got
aka
on
Seltzer.
camera.
Thank you for
I
being
think she's
part
been
of the Capcom
overly coached
experience
and
at E3
programmed
this
on
year.
how to talk, so she's a fucking robot. All of her moves are the same ones for different emphases. It's like, yeah, I'm like, if I had a board of buttons to press to make her do things when she talks, she doesn't do anything other than that. There's no fucking. It's always the same. It's weird. And her energy, she's fucking.
What about Overwatch?
Oh. Recommend whatever you want. I don't know who you are, so it means nothing. It means nothing. He is kind of putting an R in Capcom. That's what I'm saying. He's like Capcorm. Kai has a dragon install now. I don't know what that means. There's a lot of May players out there. Lol.
Is that the Overwatch thing because of the way he spelled May?
Yeah, because it's M-A-Y.
I'm pretty sure it's M-A-Y.
Yeah, it is.
Gear,
yeah. Overwatch. All right, so what happened? What do we
watched commercials.
Yeah.
And granted, it's always commercials, but
First,
it
let's
felt a
dive
little extra commercially.
Evil Village, which
I don't know, a bit of a it's how do I word this? I don't really feel a whole lot of anything, to be honest.
That's good. That's a good thing. That's what you want after watching a presentation.
Yeah. I didn't expect a lot anyways, because I don't, like I said kind of earlier, I don't really play a lot of Capcom games. I'm not a Resident Evil person. I'm not a Devil May Cry person. I'm not a Street Fighter person. Like, they don't really have a lot to offer me. I appreciate their games. The only one I play is Monster Hunter. So I wasn't expecting much.
It's weird how locked in, like Capcom's not a small dev, but the games they do make are not numerous, but they're all hyper specific.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be into fighting games. You got to be into horror. You got to be into what Monster Hunter is. You have to be into, Ace Attorney. Like, they don't just make like a shooter or like something like that. So it's interesting. Like, if you don't fall in line with any of those types of games, Capcom really doesn't offer you anything.
Right.
It's kind of interesting thinking about that. Holy shit! I just watched the Power World reaction. Was hilarious. I'm so mad I missed it live. That was for you, dude. That reaction was all for you.
That was a fucking roller coaster.
I'm glad you watched it. That was a legit reaction. I fucking had no idea what that game was. I was blown away. Psycho says gonna give it a solid C. C for Capcom. I feel like it's pretty fair. What stood out to you the most? Rise.
What stood out to me the most? Actually probably Monster Hunter Stories, just because they showed a bunch of gameplay.
Yeah.
As much as Rise is more important to me in like what they're gonna bring out and stuff like that.
You're already invested in it.
Yeah, and like I said, the roadmap's constantly being put on Twitter. Like, so, like,
yeah.
I'm gonna be pretty in the loop on that. And if not on Twitter, there's 2 people in our chat right now who are pretty good about bringing it up every time an update comes out. So,
you're talking about Jeremy Melendez, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Probably Monster Hunter Stories. It was nice to see how polished it looked.
It looks really like good.
The amount of imagination and
Clean.
stuff in it. Yeah, it's really cool looking.
Yeah.
The problem is they didn't really show anything new. They showed extended stuff. So like,
yeah, for me, it just kind of like reiterated for me that I'm definitely curious. I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's a commercial. It was a commercial.
Yeah.
You know, so like, it was fine, but like, I don't need convincing really. So.
Although the baby loved it.
Sure.
Honestly, the biggest thing for me is something that they didn't really show anything on, which was Village is getting DLC. They frame it as though they're doing it because people want it, and I hope that's true.
But a long way if they didn't, but yeah.
But I also kind of hope they already had a plan, because I don't want some DLC they haven't thought about yet.
I'm gonna play through the whole game as Chris Redfield.
At the very least, it would be nice if they added some extra maps for mercenaries mode. That's something that a lot of people have been asking for.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Different, like, I don't know, modifiers, I guess. I was going to say outfits, but it's not a third-person game. So in other Resident Evils, they've had stuff like that. So maybe if it modified the way people look, even though there's plenty of mods out there on PC that you can make people look however the fuck you want. But I'm definitely curious to see what they do with the DLC on that. I've really enjoyed that game. I would love more content. I'm already done with the game fully. I've beaten it 3 times, but I still have like more shit I want to unlock and stuff like that. So if they even add more stuff to spend those points on, that would be cool as well. But I have no idea what they're going to do. So really cool to hear that it's going to get support. And knowing Capcom and the way they support stuff, hopefully it's good. Reverse does nothing for me. I've played it. I didn't give a fuck about it then. I didn't give a fuck about it before I played it, and I definitely don't give a fuck about it now. Hope that changes. I don't think it's gonna, though. Monster Hunter Stories, like you said, I pretty much feel like I was watching YouTube videos, and in between them, a commercial came up for Stories, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and that's what happened. Looks great, but didn't do anything for me, really. It didn't change my perspective at all. Glad to see Rise has a roadmap ahead of it. Looks like they're going to support it really well. A lot of really cool stuff. I'm not invested in it right now, so I can't be excited for it, but I am definitely happy about it. Ace Attorney, never been into the series. That was a long, very quiet showcase. I got very sleepy, fucking about to take a nap, baby nap.
Don't need a lot of help in that regard right now.
Yeah, I'm already kind of worn out, and how quiet that was. Just that ding was really kind of fucking me up. Didn't do much for me. I was like, it looks kind of neat. Not for me. Maybe it is if I try it, but just looking at it, didn't do anything for me. The esports shit, Capcom, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, it's going to sound harsh, felt like this was a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but it could have been YouTube videos. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It could have just been like on the YouTube or the Capcom YouTube. They could have just had like Monster Hunter Rise roadmap video come out. And to have the presentation with the robot woman who was fucking going crazy, I don't know if it was needed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it felt like there was something bigger that they were spending this money on that we didn't get. So it's like I said, it feels like Capcom is a big enough company. They got the money that they're like, E3's coming up, we gotta do something. But they didn't have the stuff to really make it exciting. But they did it because they can. It's E3. They gotta have a presence, and that's pretty much what it felt like to me. So, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good.
Right.
This didn't do anything for me at all, except for confirming to me that Village gets DLC. Sick. Like I'm happy about that, and I'm happy the Rise has stuff coming to it. Let's see. Runty says, I'm going to pick up Ace Attorney, but they definitely didn't need to show gameplay. Felt weird. It did feel weird. It was weird. I feel like I wasn't supposed to watch that.
You know, it's kind
it feels like a game you should be playing on your own somewhere.
It almost feels like if they were trying to sell you a book and they just were showing you pages of the book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We're fucking...
It's a weird way to sell a book, so...
Yeah. Like, check out these pages.
Yeah.
This book you could read if you bought it. It's like, yeah, it didn't do much. Definitely felt weird. Felt weird as shit. Chris says, C-. They didn't really bring much to the table. A lot of reconfirmation of shit we already know is coming. It just feels weird, like they didn't have much to present. So they just here's everything we have talked about. It's still coming. Nothing really got me hyped. I feel it. Jeremy says, I have Monster Hunter Stories 1 on my phone. It's pretty neat. It's just Monster Hunter Pokemon. See, that sounds sick. Sounds sick as fuck to me. But I like how they do the battles a lot more, which sounds pretty cool. Is 2 supposed to be like that? Is it also like a Pokemon style game?
I assume it's the same formula.
I just know some games, especially RPGs, will sometimes change up the formula between games or have different systems and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I just watched the video and I fucking didn't even pick up on it. So, but it's showing him running out with eggs and shit. So, that's probably one of the Pokemans. Yeah. So we got a C-. We got a C. We're getting a lot of C's. What would you grade it?
I mean, they technically announced stuff, and
technically
it was relatively short. It only really felt like it drug on in a couple spots, and it's mostly just because, like, I feel like, in fact, I think both the spots where I felt like it dragged on were the super niche spots. So, like, Ace Attorney and, like, the esports part. Those are weird ones to me. And I think that's the case, I think, all the time when they always do esports at conventions and stuff like that.
I love the Penguin.
It's a weird time to do it. But, you know, I only think that because I'm not into esports, I guess. So so I'll probably give it a C+. I'd go higher, but kind of with the statement of, like, there's no hype there. I kind of I feel that it was kind of like watching brainless TV. So
yeah. So C+.
Yeah.
So we're gonna differ finally. I'm gonna give it a C-, non-insulting C-. I really feel like this was a misstep. I feel like the presentation aspect of this was unneeded. The videos, welcome, but we already talked about it. If they were just kind of individual videos that they put out, I could kind of pick and choose what I wanted to watch there. But as a presentation, I don't think it did a good job on, especially the energy that the robot was putting out there. Did not translate in what they had to show. It seems just off, the whole presentation. It feels unneeded. And of course, when we grade, me and you, typically we're talking about presentation, how they did the whole thing, and the content of what they showed. And across the board, I really could have did without almost all of this. And I'm really trying to say that without trying to sound like, it's shitty. This isn't the Gearbox presentation.
No, not at all.
That was ridiculous. But this just felt like I said, they could and they wanted to just put a presentation out. But uninspired, unneeded feeling. And it felt like that for sure for me. So C-, the most nicest C- I can fucking give. So close to D. Yeah, hopefully Nintendo's better. Hope for it. Do you think likelihood fucking Switch Pro?
Oh, I don't know.
0 to 100. Just throw it out there.
50, I
50?
guess.
It's a 50-50 thing. I'm going to go 40. Just because I don't think they're going to do it. But I want them to. I think the timing's right. I think they could do it, but I just feel like they're not going to do it.
Yeah, I honestly just didn't really have any thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of generally my mindset with this stuff anyways. I just wait for them to show me stuff. So I don't really like plan or hope for a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely not planning or hoping for anything, but it'd be cool to see it. And Breath of the Wild 2. A lot of people are speculating we're going to see.
I mean,
which would be cool.
Hope so for fans of the series. So.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully durability is not as big of an issue in that one for most people. Yeah, so we'll probably close out here soon. This is a short and sweet TLG Reacts. I still have time to play something, which is going to be great. We'll give you guys a couple minutes if you have anything to say in the chat. And yeah, anybody watching later, make sure to comment what you thought. Give it a grade if you want. What'd you think? What did you like? What did you not like? What did you think of the whole presentation? Did you really enjoy it? Did you think it was okay? Did you hate it? Let me know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. Also, I'm going to remind you guys that we are coming to a close tomorrow, where we will be reacting to Nintendo's Nintendo Direct and Nintendo Treehouse and Bandai Namco midnight. So PST, so make sure to come back tomorrow night for that. And we have already done Square Enix, Xbox Bethesda Game Show, Warner Bros. Games Back for Blood, Gearbox Showcase, Ubisoft Forward, and Summer Game Fest. If you're curious about our thoughts and reactions to those, they're all up right now, so feel free to go check those out. I also have them chaptered. If there's a specific thing you're looking for in that video, it should make it easier for you to navigate those waters. And yeah, we have a Discord, we have a Patreon, we have stuff on iTunes and Spotify and all that shit. I'm tired, so just check out another video if you want all the whole spiel. Let's see, what do we got? I like how they. What are you gonna play? I'm probably gonna, at the very least, hop into ESO because I gotta do some daily shit, and then I'm either gonna stick with ESO or I might go buy Ratchet and Clank because I really want to try that. Or play. I have Chivalry 2. I haven't been playing very much of. I need to beat Outriders, so I should probably play that at some point. I'm not sure. I gotta figure that out. I haven't thought about it too much. I gotta try this demo too, but I don't think I'm gonna do that tonight. Let's see. Got some hype for Rainbow Six Extraction. It looks pretty interesting. Did you play the event when that happened? It was pretty fun. This is definitely going to be like a more full-fledged version of that, but it was kind of a cool mix-up of what they had done with the game already and kind of doing like the Call of Duty zombie thing, which is neat. It'd definitely be fun. I'll probably pick it up. You tried it? Yeah. I figured you would have. But yeah, I'm probably going to pick it up. I know a couple people I know who will probably play it. So, yeah. All right, give you guys like another minute or two, and then we're out of here. I gotta take a drink of this shit. I'm fucking drying up. Anybody play ESO? Nobody? Everybody plays it on console?
Chris played today.
He did.
Plays every Monday.
Yeah. Fucking, you still playing, oh god. You're playing Necromancer, right?
Not this character.
Played today. Meat Boy. The monsters moving through the black goo Splatoon style is pretty neat. Oh, yeah. I picked it up. I'm going to play it right now. Wait, you picked up... What did you pick up?
He bought ESO on console.
Oh, god damn it.
Shouldn't have a PC.
God damn it. I know. They need to add fucking crossplay. Stupid. Such an easy fix. They just, if you enable crossplay, just fucking disables add-ons.
Who?
Easy.
I installed an add-on last time I played the game, so I don't know if I'd like that.
Yeah, but I would, because I don't have add-ons on, so that I can play with people. That's the best solution, because then you can do your thing, and I can do my thing, and no one's fucking negatively affected. I played ESO a while back. I have a werewolf character. That's all I remember. I see people all the time running around just asking people to like bite them and shit. So I think it's funny. I have not become a werewolf yet, but I am curious about doing it with one of my characters. I'm going to play it right now. Well, I'm going to play it very, very soon too. And on that note, I think we're going to get out of here. So thank you, everybody who hung out in the chat. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation, even though the content is arguably kind of mundane. Stay tuned. We got the episodes coming out tomorrow. Hopefully we see you then. And yeah, my name's Seth. This is Chevy. And I'll read this one last comment. I'm out of here. Yeah, I remembered when people would see bites for crazy. Are you talking? Oh, sell. So, yeah, that's funny. That makes sense. All right, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow night.